So, not so long ago, I did a video talking about how to draw in a comic book style. And I don't quite agree with that video anymore. So, this is sorta like a remake of sorts. More specifically, this is how to use the airbrush, essentially. Because I've seen a lot of people, and myself included, I've done it a lot, where I have used the heck out of the airbrush for coloring and for shading and all that. And sometimes it looks great. Sometimes it just looks very blurry and muddy. So this is my technique. This isn't really the rule. It's just a tip. So keep that in mind. Right? Yeah, our tip is gonna be in the hashtags in the title. Anyways, let's get started. So for this piece right here that I already, pretty much completed and all that, this is the line art. What I do is that I go Control J and I duplicate that layer so I can go to the original one, and just with the paint bucket I basically just paint over and all that stuff. What I used to do is that in a layer beneath the line art I would just grab the lasso tool and just paint over like that, which is fine. It's also a good way to do it, but to me this is just quicker than that. It's really fast. Boom boom. See, really I'm already almost done. Maybe next time I'll show you guys how to do the cross hatching and all that nonsense. By the way, all I use is the regular basic brushes. I used to do a bunch of brushes and all that. I even do my own custom ones. But later on I returned back to my regular brushes because they're kind of neat. I don't have to worry about how much pressure I'm putting on my pen. Here's the fleck colors, pretty simple. So once it's done with that, what we're gonna do is that we're gonna grab the lasso tool. But before we do that, I'm gonna grab the paint bucket, go for a pretty dark color. Keep in mind that shadows in general have color as well. They're not entirely black. I use blacks mainly for like more intense, shadows and where the darkest part of the body will be essentially. It gives like a dynamic look, like like in the comics and all that. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab a really dark purplish, maybe pink. I'll do that. From there, I'm gonna lower the opacity. You can lower as much as you want. For this one, I'm gonna do 50. So here, we're gonna grab the lasso tool. And this is where the airbrush actually shines, in my opinion. How I do things is that I go first dark and then I'm gonna shade in the light. It's easier for me to visualize things that way. But you can do it in the reverse order if you want. So yeah, you just shape in where the light meets essentially. So I'm gonna grab the airbrush. It's the eraser, but it has the airbrush thing on. I'm gonna make it pretty big. I think this size is pretty good. Make it as big as you want. Some people prefer to tap the screen while doing the airbrush. What I do is I pass it softly through the thing. It's gonna be really soft. Really delicate. and tap in certain areas if you must. And now I'm gonna show you. See that? Now it looks pretty damn good. And it's that easy. It was pretty quick. Basically you do this and you're pretty much already done with the piece, but you can like go over with another layer. Let me show you here real quick. We can go over with another layer and go where the lighter parts are. And just do this real quick. And we can grab the airbrush, and with that skin tone we just go a little bit lighter. I'm just gonna tap it a little bit. And if you want, you can lower the opacity slightly. And look at that. Already looking three-dimensional in a way. And we can grab another layer right here. Just another one. I'm gonna grab a light, like a rim light source. I'm gonna make it pink. Like a very, very light pink. Now you slightly go over the airbrush. Look at that. It's already looking great. So yeah, that's the best way you can use the airbrush, and I've been using the airbrush ever since thanks to this little trick.